Welcome back to video number 9. This is setting up and finalizing your setup process for the Ultimate Membership Pro WordPress plugin. And just want to say congratulations, you've reached the end of this course. You have been able to listen all the way through, and now we are going to finish everything up. All right, so let's jump right in. Okay, so now I'm going to show you step by step in more depth every single one of these features and options. So up at the top, if we click on users, this just allows us to see the existing users. So as of now, there are no users, but you can manually add a new user if you want. Now, as you make sales, of course, this will of course populate. But if you ever have to add a user manually and you have to add them to a specific level, then you can always add their information and then of course select the level. Now, as by default, as I showed you earlier, there are 3 different levels that are demo levels. There are free demos, free, one-time, and of course recurring. And then of course you can select a post for account page overview. Now, going back to the top, now, if you click on the Ultimate Affiliates, what this allows you to do is it allows you to add an affiliate program on top of everything else. But in this case, we're not really going to look into that, but that is an option if you would like to pay to get that extension. And the nice thing about Ultimate Affiliate Pro is there are a ton of other extensions that you can buy to add on top of this WordPress plugin. So like I said, with a Member Pro, you buy it and then everything is inside of it. But because this is so cheap, you can add, affiliate programs and other extensions as well. But going back to levels, remember we had a free level and of course we had a paid level. So before you create any pages or anything like that, you want to make sure you create your levels first. So by default, we can see there is a free level and they have access to it lifetime. And of course, billing type, you can see it's free. And then recurrences, it's just a one-time. There are no recurrences and there is no price. And of course, you'll know for every single one of these levels, you can actually see a subscription link. So what this allows you to do is it allows you to put this short code around your content. And I'll show you more in depth later on, but basically imagine you have a page, and on that page you might have some free content, and then you might have some content specific for the one-time demo level. So if that's the case, and on that page you want to segment it, so if somebody is free, they can see content, but if it is paid, they see a little link that says, this content is just for paid members only. So if they want to buy, then they click they buy. But if somebody comes along and they are a member of the one-time plan member level, then they will see the content in there. All right. So that's really the whole point of the short codes over here. And I'll show you that in just a minute so that makes more sense. Now, if we take a look at these levels in more depth, so you can get an idea of the different options, we can see that on a level you can create the slug, which is basically a keyword that will allow you to figure out what it is all about. And of course, the level label is what people see. And of course, level access, you have different access types. You have lifetime, you have limited, so you can limit the members area to a certain amount of days. And then after somebody expires, you can actually move them to a different level. And then of course you have date range, you have a start date and an end date. And of course, after they expire, you can move them to another level. And then of course, a regular period. So a period of days, a period of weeks, months, and years. And of course, you can have additional access settings here. And then of course, you have payment types. So obviously, if it's free, there's no options here. But if it is payment, then you can actually specify the level price. So I'm going to show you that in just a minute when we go to a paid level. But right now we are under the free level. So as you can see here, if we move back up to the top and we go back to levels, and let's go ahead and choose the recurring level, because I know many of you want to learn how to add a recurring level. So you might have a one-time kind of $197 up front like we talked about earlier in the blueprint, and of course maybe a $27 recurring fee down here. So let's maybe start with the one-time offer here. So let's change this, instead of a one-time, let's change this to front end offer. And this is a one-time fee, so this is lifetime access. And additional access settings, it says custom WordPress role. In this case, I'm just going to leave it blank and leave it as the default register option. And then of course it says special week, days, level work. So basically all this means is that you're giving access to somebody to the members area for the entire week, or the weekdays only, or the weekend. Now, for the most of you, it's probably going to be the entire week, but unless you're doing something like, say, for example, coaching or some sort of consulting or whatever, where they only need to have access during a certain amount of days, perhaps during the weekdays, then you can actually set that there. Then, of course, we have billing options, and let's talk about this in more depth. So we can see right now that this is just a one-time fee. So when you choose payment, the level price is $10, but in this case, we can do $197. And billing recurrences, there, it's just a one-time thing. So there is no recurring option. And then we can simply change this, only $197, and click Save Level. So there you have it. We have created a $197 one-time fee level. And then let's change this to the $27 level, which we talked about in our blueprint. So if we click on Edit here, we're going to call this the Community Plan, since that is a recurring item. So every month we are going to go down here, payment. We're going to do level price. That's going to be $27 per month. And then billing on recurrences, we're going to have it ongoing. Now, if you want it limited, so for example, if you want it limited to only 7 times or 6 months, you can do that. So this allows you to run a fixed term membership site. But in this case, we're going to have it ongoing forever because it's a community. You can also do a trial. You can do a trial for a certain period, say for example 7 days. You can do that as well. Or if you just want to go straight from $197 straight into the recurring, we're going to leave this blank and leave it as 0. So we're going to go down, we're going to click on Save Level, change the price here, click Save Level, and there we go. So as you can see here, we have a $197 one-time price and then a $27 per month after that. Now that you have created your levels, we can actually move to the payment services. But before we do that, you can click the subscription plan showcase here. And all this does is basically allows you to change the theme. So as you can see, this is what it looks like. These are basically the sign up payment buttons. So you have different themes. And there we go. So these are the different buttons that you could potentially place onto your sales pages. And of course, as you can see here, there's the shortcode. So if you place this shortcode on your WordPress post or page, these buttons here will actually show up, and that gives people the ability to go ahead and purchase these plans. Now, the next thing you want to do is just integrate the payment services. So you want to pick and choose the ones that you want. And I will say that these two here are very similar to Stripe. So best bet is just to pick something like PayPal and Stripe, or PayPal and authorized.net, or to check out. If we click on PayPal right here, you can see that all you need to do is simply enter your PayPal email address. If you enable Sandbox, that basically allows you to test the system out without charging money. And then of course you have the ability to redirect people to a specific page after payment. So you could redirect them to, say, for example, a welcome page, a thank you page. Now, same goes with Stripe. You can go up here. You'll need to get your secret key and publishable key. And you can do that by following these directions right here. So you will need to have a Stripe account in order to utilize these services and all these other accounts here. Now, you don't need to have all of these services. Just pick and choose, like I said, either PayPal or Stripe to checkout, because to checkout actually has credit card payments and PayPal, or PayPal and authorized.net. So after that, you can go to inside lockers. All this does is allows you to create lockers which lock content. So as you can see, you can name the locker, you can choose a theme, you can choose, say, okay, this content is locked, or you can log in, or here's an additional link. And then basically you can add the content here. So you could add a video, you could add audio, or some sort of something that is of value that somebody wants. And in order for them to get it, they either have to pay for it or they actually have to log in. So you can see what the login looks like, the locker looks like, and they can see the message here that this content is locked. So this basically gives you the ability to create content locking forms, which basically build curiosity. So in other words, if somebody is interested in actually getting into your site and getting that value, video, audio, or gift, then they have to take that action, if that makes sense. And then of course we have showcases, which I said earlier, all this does is it allows you to create the templates and change the design and the CSS style of the register form, the login form, the subscription plan, and all these other options here. And then of course social login, like I showed you earlier, if you choose Facebook, for example, then you just simply add the application ID and the application secret. Now, in order to activate the Facebook social login so that your users can log in to your membership site, you just follow these details. Pretty step-by-step, self-explanatory. You go to the site, you add a new app, and then Facebook basically gives you these details. And then when you add it in, and then of course you will activate the social login. The same with these other sites, you just follow the details step by step and you'll be able to get set up. Now at this point you can also create coupons. So you can generate a coupon or you can create your own. You can enter the description, the type of discount, price or percentage, enter the discount value, enter a period type. So you can either have unlimited or say that this coupon is only available from this date to this date. You can repeat it. You can have it so that the coupon is only available, say, to the front end offer. So if somebody comes in, you can say you can get 50% off the $197 offer, but it's only for that particular level. It's not available for anything else. So that's a nice little feature that you have there. You can also add bulk coupons, which allows you to add and generate a good amount of coupons which you can give to individuals if you want to. Then of course you have lock rules, which you can see here. You can choose page or post. You can enter the post ID, and then you can say all of these pages, all of these posts will be blocked for this particular level. All right. So that's pretty self-explanatory. Then, of course, you have payment history, which are basically your orders, your notifications, which is basically your email notifications, the emails that the users get, and the emails that you get. So you can basically tweak them, add your very own name to them, and all of that. And then of course you have magic features, which are additional options and integrations and all these different options that will add more value and interaction to your membership site. And of course, as we talked about earlier, general options basically just covers the default pages. And then of course you can add a reCAPTCHA. And then of course you have messages here. We have the ability to customize your menus, email verifications, and more. So really these are all options. You don't have to have these. Now let's talk about pages and posts. How do we restrict the pages and posts? How do we do things like drip feeding, which is what we talked about in the blueprint? Well, if we head on over to pages, and let's go ahead and create a new page. We'll call this front end video. We'll say this module 1. And to the right hand side, you're going to say show page only for everybody, for the free level, for the front end offer, or for the recurring demo. So in this case, the front end offers this. And the nice thing is this, you can also add more levels. It's not just pertaining to one level, it's pertaining to many levels, as you can see here. Now in this case, I'm just going to do front end video because of this. I'm assuming that people bought the front end offer. And then if not, so say for example, somebody is not a member of this level, then I can redirect them to a specific page, or I can replace the content. And if you're wondering what kind of content can I replace it with, well, if you scroll down, you can see a replace content box, very similar to the box up here. But basically, you can add a different content into here. So if somebody is interested in module 1 of the front end video course and they are not a member, you can add a video here that says, well, if you're a member, you can access this, or maybe a pre-sale video that sells this module. All right. So that's a nice little feature there. And next, you can also drip feed. You can set to release content at a regular interval by creating a schedule of your content. So like I said earlier, on the blueprint, if we had, let's say, for example, 50 videos, and we wanted to give 5 different weeks, 10 different videos each week, we could select it on, and we can say this goes for 0 days because they purchased it immediately. But if I only wanted to show this, say, 7 days after they have actually subscribed, I can do that. You can also specify a date as well. So maybe I want to give this to them on the first day, or we'll just do first day. And then of course you can have expiration day. Now in this case, I'm not going to expire it because I don't want the content to expire. I want it so that once it's drip fed, then they see it forever. And that's all you have to do. So next we click on publish, and we can actually go ahead and add a new front end video module 2. We can add the content. We can say show page only for the front end offer. And then we are going to drip feed. And we're going to do it 7 days after, basically 1 week after they subscribe. We are never going to expire it. We are going to click on publish, and we are good to go. So as you can see, very, very easy to do that. Now let's say we want to create a piece of content on the front end, and we want to make it so that visitors can actually see the free content, but then paid members can see the paid content. So if we go back over here and we go back to the plugin itself, and we go to levels, you'll notice that we have the front end offer and then free. All right, so we can copy this short code here, and we'll call this front page post. And there you go. So you can see level link ID equals 1. So this is the free content here. And you can add videos, you can add audios, you can add whatever you want as free content. But then over here, we have the front end offer. And if you do this, you put this short code equals 2, then only people that are on the front end $197 offer actually see this content here. And same thing, same goes with other levels as well. If you do that to other levels, only they will actually be able to see that information. So that's how easy it is literally to create content, to make it drip fed, and do all sorts of other options as well. Now, if you go back here and you click on Extensions Plus, you will see that the Ultimate Membership Pro also has the ability to expand. So in addition to this, which is what we have, we can add an affiliate program. If you scroll down, you can do other things like backup and clone and other different extensions as well. But to be honest, what I feel like is this one right here is very, very powerful. And then of course you can add the affiliate program over here. Now, do you really need all of this? Not necessarily. In fact, in my opinion, this runs a very basic website and you can add this if you want to. Apart from that, I don't really feel like you really need all these other extensions here. In fact, if you want a really good backup and cloning and migration type WordPress plugin, I would recommend Duplicator Pro. In my opinion, that is one of the best and very, very easy to install. So that way you can rely on different plugins that in my opinion are much more powerful. So I hope you enjoyed this lesson as I showed you everything from the overview to actually how to customize the settings to actually how to set things up.